Hello, AfterBuzz TV Drag Race fans! We are here to discuss Season 10, Episode 10, here to talk about the social media kings, trade, makeovers, and that shocking elimination. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin!
Going to the chapel and she's gonna get married.
Hi, y'all, I'm back!
Yay! Round of applause for our newly married Jacque Borowski! Now, is it Borowski Pineda?
Yes.
You are
Hyphenated.
glowing.
We were all talking about that. Is she gonna hyphenate? Is she gonna? But you can still be, and it's still gonna rhyme, girl. 1, 2, 3, Jackie P.
Yes, but it's still 1, 2, 3, Jackie B. Or 1, 2, 3, Jackie BP. Thanks, you guys. I received a lot of your very sweet messages on Twitter and YouTube and whatnot, so I really appreciate it.
And we tried to post some photos to share with everybody.
Yes, I love the photos.
She looked gorgeous.
Didn't
You
she?
guys are so sweet. So sweet. I'm so tickled.
And for the record, this is not about the show, but I had never heard of that bell, and we were both like, "How have we never been here before?"
Oh,
It was
Korean
Angel's-
friendship
yeah.
bell.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
I grew up in that neighborhood, so that would be
Yeah.
a picturesque spot.
Yeah.
I
It was
love
beautiful.
that spot. I love
Yeah.
that spot. Well,
Google
thanks,
it.
you guys. We have Mark, Ollie, and Ronnie here with us in the house. What were your initial thoughts? I heard from Ronnie. He said he loved it. I really love this episode.
Ronnie,
except for the
why
elimination.
did you love it, Ronnie?
Well, I'm gonna be giggling the whole time. I feel like I've been drinking, but I haven't been drinking. But I have a lot of feelings. And I believe it's doable, as Cameron said, so that's just first. And my darling, my favorite what do you call it, Monet.
Yeah.
I don't remember her
It's
name.
not. I said I'm gonna be shaky the whole episode, you guys, because this was it felt like we were dating for 10 weeks, and now we have been broken up. So,
And you're wearing the sponge necklace as a memento.
like, I'm not over it.
Just dab your tears with the
Yeah,
necklace.
I got plenty of sponges. This was my arts and crafts, and I'm here.
I love it.
Soak it up.
So iTunes listeners, please check out the video if you can, so you can see Ronnie's amazing sponge necklace.
Yeah.
Monet is single-handedly selling out the sponge industry.
Right, exactly. She totally is. I love watching her pack the dress and everything, even though I didn't want her to go. But I actually liked it. I have some things to say, but I'll save it for the appropriate time.
Ollie?
I don't like Frankie Grande.
Ooh.
So it was a little hard to watch, but it was a good episode. Frankie Grande, I just didn't really like him on Big Brother, and he's really into himself, but I'm sure he's a wonderful person. I love Ariana Grande, and whatever.
Didn't you say you do Ariana Grande in Snatch
Yeah,
Game?
I love Ariana Grande, but her brother just
Then what I'm going to
kinda
do is I'm
irritates
going to
me.
dress up as his brother for Snatch Game
There
and
you
just sit
go.
next to you
Yeah.
as his
There you
brother.
go.
Nice.
Yes, please do that.
You're like, yes, that sounds so thrilling. Not really. So the mini challenge was Trade, where they had to sell a cologne called Trade, and they all dressed up as boys. And Eureka won, and
They all dressed up as boys.
they all dressed up as boys. And Eureka won, and I don't know why, because Eureka wasn't my favorite. I thought Karen was perfect.
Yes.
Like, he really seemed like a realistic ad. It was funny but realistic to me. And Monet had me cracking up. I was just like, the whole look at the things he was saying just killed me.
I think my favorite part was every time she go, "Can you do it lower?"
Yeah.
When she said, "Can you do it lower?" Watch it again. Every one of them goes, "Is this lower?" Like literally, that's the exact. They all
That's
said
their
the exact same
register.
thing to see
Yeah.
if they could get it lower. Asia, I was cracking. Like I was like, "Girl, you can't even do it." Like she was like literally just being Asia and licking her lips.
Well, she wasn't
I
like-
see. I really liked Eureka, but I'm Team Eureka, and I did think she was the funniest. I think she was really trying to see somebody that really kind of, from start to finish, like did well, and I think she did do well. Yeah, I liked it, and Monet was funny too. She kept twisting her hip and stuff.
And she went to go grab her crotch too, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Hold on, I gotta go a little bit lower
Yeah,
to grab this
yeah.
thing." Of course, I loved Monet. Cameron and Cracker, I was like just okay with, nothing too shocking. So I'm actually really interested to know what you guys really felt about Cracker. But I will say a surprise for me. I absolutely 100% loved what Eureka did with this character.
Yeah.
I thought it was even funny when I went back and watched. I said, oh, you know, she could have went and had the shirt open to begin with, but no, she had a fully developed character where she was going to keep taking it and keep taking it. And I don't know if that joke was planned, like, oh, you mean like to go tell the wife?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was planned, and even if it is, I'm so down with that.
Yeah.
So for me, it was Monet could have won, but I also was very much in tune with Eureka was the winner for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eureka kind of scared me. She was really disturbing.
She looked so different too. You're just so
the
used
voice.
to, yeah.
I was like really surprised that she pulled that off. And
Yeah.
I was really disturbed. I'm like, this is not Eureka.
Yeah.
This is a man right here.
Right.
But I agree with Jackie. I loved Cameron. Like I've loved seeing Cameron shirtless as well because I'm totally.
It was like Cameron was like an
We all
advertisement for a cologne I would actually buy because I was like, wow, that person's really attractive, and even though I don't use cologne, I would buy that. You know?
I also thought it was really cute with Cameron how Cameron was trying to play the trade character, and the moment that was over, went back to classic giggly, as you know, very feminine, and I thought that duality was really fun. That's why we love Cameron.
Someone in
Don't
the
say
chat,
we, because we all don't love Cameron.
Oh,
you don't?
No.
I've never said I love Cameron.
Oh really?
No.
Oh wow.
Do not include me in that.
Oh my god. Oh, Mark's back.
Someone in the chat roll, Dana wrote, "This is the second best mini challenge,"
Yeah.
and I just love this mini challenge.
Yeah, it was fun.
I thought it was a lot of
In
fun.
our group chat, I even mentioned that I was like, "You guys, this is a funny mini challenge," because I wasn't sure if it was gonna add up, but no, it's really
And remember how you were talking about having the mini challenge tie into the maxi challenge, and to me, it made sense with this one because it was a makeover from
Straight.
a makeover challenge. So I felt
Some
this
being
kind of
straight
like
men,
tied in.
I just think, again, I feel like they've put a lot of more thought into this season with the challenges, runway and mini challenges and stuff. They've worked it all into the, it's all kind of had like an Americana theme too. Wasn't that from the beginning? They had like an America. She's always been talking about America and stuff like that, and speaking out and everything. But and then connecting them to each other too. I think they've been doing a great job. So keep up the good work. Now maybe some better queens.
Oh my gosh, I love the queens this season. You know,
I
like a lot of them.
I think a lot of them are awesome.
But I think some are
can't-
skating by.
Okay.
Oh, even in this top 6.
I feel like this season has been really competitive. Like, I feel like they're getting to a point where the people who are auditioning are the best of the best of the best, and it's just so hard, even early on, to see people like Vanjie go.
And we have a variety too. We have, you know, your pageant queen. We have your New York City queens. We have some Nashville queens. I like.
We have your dot on the face queens.
Yeah.
5 New York queens. Don't forget 5.
Yeah. Well, Yuha left pretty early, so I didn't really ever count her.
But nonetheless,
You said who?
And Dusty.
Wait.
Nonetheless,
No, it was you that liked Yuha.
I did like her. Yeah. And I actually saw her at Mickey's. And I went up to her and I was like, "Hey, girl." I introduced myself and I said, you know, I was really rooting for you. I really liked you. I thought you were doing a good job. She goes, "Girl, I lost." And I laughed, you know, everything. And then the more I thought about it, the more kind of angry I got, because I was like, if that's how you went into this, like, you did not lose. You had an opportunity to show what you do on national television and be a part of this thing. So the fact that you're going to walk, and then even at DragCon, she had a thing, "Come take a picture with me, I lost." And I was just like, and I get it, like, it's cute, but at the same time, I'm like, but you didn't. And I think that, we talked about this before, it's what you make from this experience that can make or break your career in drag. So.
Very true.
So true.
Yeah,
and
I'm done now.
Maxi challenge.
I'm going to be nice for the rest of the
Maxi
day.
challenge was making over Social Media Kings, which I'm over the age of 25, so I don't know who most of these people are.
I only know 2 of them.
Yeah.
Like, actual. Okay,
Which ones did you know?
Well, I knew Tyler, I knew Kingsley, and I unfortunately knew Frankie Grande, but I didn't know who the other 3 were. And it was cool though.
Is that how I looked when I talked about Derek Barry?
Okay, so if you watch Big Brother season 18, he was a horrible person. I thought, maybe he's learned and grown from that experience, but other than that, he's really into himself and he's really annoying, and I'm just ugh.
Yeah.
And we had a group chat going about how he looks a lot like Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
He does.
Yeah.
He does.
She does.
Cynthia found her 3rd way back on the season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's RuPaul is doing a lot of clever like brand management. Not that RuPaul hasn't been doing it all along, but like just to get more publicity for the show, I think it's smart to pick a YouTube star because then you're connecting with a younger audience or maybe an audience who might not otherwise watch Drag Race. So you can have the YouTube star say, "Hey, see me on Drag Race," and then because the brand is being married, then those people now go, if they liked one of the YouTube stars, and go look at their channel.
In our Twitter roundup later, like 5 of the 6, I was going to call them queens, 5 of the 6 social media kings, they all had dinner together or whatever and watched the show. So it's that same thing, like if all of them posted, that's, a huge viral sensation. And I liked them generally, even the ones I didn't enjoy. Didn't know, I ended up liking.
They all seemed like it, and that was the reason I was like, oh, this is so smart, because they all seemed... even Frankie Grande, they all seemed like nice people to me, and like I would check out their YouTube channels.
I love that Raymond Braun is the last name. I love how he was put with Asia because I felt like it matched so well because Asia's been opinionated, but also like is very eloquent with what she has to bring to the table. So I thought their messaging was really good.
So it was just to recap, it was Raymond Braun with Asia, it was Frankie Grande with Eureka, Anthony Padilla with Cameron, Kingsley with Aquaria, Chester C with Cracker, and Tyler Oakley with Monet. And I do think the discussion over whether or not you were quote unquote hampered by having a straight man versus having a gay man was interesting because like certain people felt like they had a disadvantage by having a straight man. But
look at Kingsley.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Kingsley was really excited.
Doesn't necessarily mean that
Kingsley was really excited about this, and it didn't necessarily translate. And then obviously,
it didn't.
Obviously,
didn't necessarily.
Obviously, Cracker won with a straight man, and that was interesting to me because when you saw Chester before he shaved his hair, before Cracker did him up, I was like, I think this person is going to be the hardest person to make over because when you see them with facial hair, he looked, and I thought he was cute too, but he looks so masculine to me.
But it also, keep in mind too, you see it and you're like, oh, I have to deal with the beard, But then that's also a bigger transformation. So it's always going to get more of a reaction because you're used to seeing him with the beard and stuff.
And he was
FYI,
loving
wink,
his
wink,
beauty.
season 11, girls. Keep that in mind when you're playing stretch.
But he was I did think that Cracker did an excellent job with that makeup. There was a family resemblance, and he was eating it up, which was cracking me up because he was like could not get enough of his
Isn't
face.
he a comedian or something? I think he's a comedian.
He's got music on YouTube. He's got a song,
he's a musician.
He parodies. I like big butts. I can't lie. But he also, I think he was dating Grace Helbig is the name also.
Yeah.
So he's like one of those like YouTubey people. I wasn't really too familiar with him. Sorry, I'm a little older, like we were talking about. But he does have a butt. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, the transformation was like very amazing.
I couldn't see it.
We talked a lot about butts last week.
It was so funny. I wanted to hold it off to the shout out section, but someone in the comments was like, Jackie's here and now Jackie's not here and all they're talking about is butts for 10 minutes.
Well, Jackie, you like butts too.
I do like butts too.
Everyone loves butts.
But it was a mini challenge about butts. We have to be fair here, right?
And we're still talking about it.
Okay, I'm done.
I did think moving around the Frankie Grande ball discussion was hilarious to me.
We left butts and now we're talking about balls.
Right. It was funny.
Nothing but class here.
Nothing but class here at AfterBuzz TV. So Eureka said that she was trying to pair people up to try and hamper some people because of a discussion Rue had with Aquaria in the last episode about like if you win the challenge, do something to your advantage. And so Eureka picked Frankie Grande because who was it that said you picked Frankie because she's already a drag queen?
Came in drag, yeah.
I think Cracker said that.
Yeah, she did.
Which is funny. I would also think that it's like Frankie was so excited about it too that if I was Eureka, I probably would have picked Frankie as well.
Yeah, Frankie went on to say he's been in Pageant the Musical, so he's obviously walked in heels. Like you almost assume it's a sure thing. Yeah. Right.
And then there were people that were debating whether or not having 2 loud people was going to be a bad thing or a good thing. But I mean, to me, it's like before I knew they were making that music video, when you think of it just as a runway challenge, you're like, it doesn't matter if the person's loud or not, it's a runway challenge.
Yeah.
So, did you think that when you saw these pairings, did you think that, oh my gosh, this person is going to be hampered by this particular person?
I actually fell right in love with it. I understand the funny part of Eureka or, game advantage part where she wanted to be smart and selective, but it really, to me, felt like everyone gradually worked very well. Like I didn't really see anyone becoming a disadvantage. I would say maybe Cameron, because if the guy was very subdued and Cameron is also, I feel like it would have been like a Tyler Oakley with Cameron would have really helped Cameron out, I think, But other than that, everyone worked out well, and I didn't really see it as a huge disadvantage to anyone, unless they let it.
Yeah, because Cameron did mention how Cameron's not really close with actual straight males, so there was some level of discomfort, as you said. But I mean, I think the weakest were like probably Cameron and who is it? Who did Aquaria and Kingsley? I think they struggled because Kingsley, like you said, he was so excited, yet he just didn't. He's not like a performer. He didn't like being in drag. It seemed like, and so it was really hard to like. I mean, she looked pretty. What was her name? Capricornacia.
Capricornica. I wrote it down somewhere. Hold, please.
It wasn't a good name.
Capricorn.
Capricorn.
Which I think is Capricorn, because she's Aquarius. Capricorn. He's probably a Capricorn. Blah blah blah. Yeah. I mean, obviously, and Aquarius said it. If Ru last week literally said to Aquaria, "Why weren't you being more strategic?" So. Whether you like what Eureka did or not, whether you think that she actually did do what she said she did, Ru was happy that she did it. And you could see it on Ru's face when she said to Ru, and she's like, yes, finally, someone who's doing this, someone who wants to win. And I think that is a big part of the game. And Eureka even said it too. I am here to play the game and win the game. Plain and simple.
She was strategic, but it didn't really. No one really suffered.
Right.
Everyone did okay.
Right, and going up that point, it's like when you think of somebody having the strategic moment to choose what works. I think it's a different thing when it's the 7 queens or 6 queens or 5 queens, because they know sort of what the challenge is and sort of who can perform and how I can mess them up. With the crapshoot of a transformation of a social media king, you're not necessarily knowing that like somebody who may not supposed to work is gonna work. So that's why I said it's great that you.
It's always gonna be a crapshoot because you don't know what's gonna happen, and and just from and I've done people's makeup. Every Halloween, my phone starts blowing up because everybody wants to do drag and everybody wants me to do their makeup. And it's funny because you do tend, I know how to paint me. I'm not necessarily great at coming up with a new look for you. So it's funny because sometimes I do my makeup on people and it looks really good. Like I think Chester did. Yeah. When, Cracker did her makeup on him, it worked. As much as I love Eureka, I don't know that her makeup worked on Frankie.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. So it just depends. It is a crapshoot. Yeah.
What did you guys think of the video? They had to do these little videos to charisma, uniqueness, and talent.
I loved it.
It was weird to me because it was all mashed in together.
Yeah.
I thought it was you were really gonna see like each group individually. So I felt like I didn't get to see enough.
Yeah, I like last season where they did the actual performance, like they lip synced on stage with each.
That's what I thought it was gonna be too.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I do know they did that because they were trying to make a YouTube video, but at the same time, it's like, why don't you just do a bunch of videos for YouTube?
I feel like it was filmed in like a minute. They're just like, okay, hurry up and do this.
Right.
Time constraints. So I mean, it wasn't amazing, but
time wise, I wonder because there was a lot of not mirror moments, but workroom moments. So I wonder if that was so much more substantial, and then they just threw away the video and then said, "Oh, we'll just switch it to make it like a YouTube thing."
Yeah.
But I could have wanted to see the YouTube, the regular video or performance. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, let's run down the looks on the runway. So it was drag family values. First was Asia and America O'Hara. I loved the jackets, and you knew that America O'Hara was living for that jacket in the workroom, practicing the walk with it and everything.
I think Asia did 2 things very right. She let him pick what he wanted to wear to feel comfortable, and when she said on the runway, I want you to try to outperform me. I think those were 2 smart things for her to do. I mean, they didn't win, but I think it was a good way to lead your person into doing well, making that, because you have to feel comfortable. if you're not going to feel comfortable, then you're not going to feel pretty. You're not going to work the runway.
And I really thought Asia was actually going to win this challenge.
Yeah.
And I was
too.
totally fine with it. And Asia, she is a drag mother herself, so this was totally a challenge for her. So I really thought she was going to win. I'm totally fine with the actual winner winning. But yeah, I think it's a very cohesive look, and Raymond loved it. So it was cool to see how excited he was.
Yeah, and I did see how Asia really represented that drag mother persona. I mean, Raymond came in with such big open arms and eyes and stuff of that nature. So I liked it. I think they went back and talked about the heels, and you have to wear the vinyl
acrylic heels.
Yeah, to me it felt like what Asia would have been doing all these years. So it was kind of a sneak peek into that.
Plus, Asia, I mean, Asia's really good at putting together costumes.
Right.
So just the fact that, like, knowing he loved this jacket, and she's like, okay, I have to replicate this jacket for him out of what I have here. That part was amazing.
And I'm so curious to know what Asia's original plan was.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So the next one was Eureka and Eureka. There is certainly a family resemblance here, but I have to agree with you guys where the makeup on Eureka was a bit much.
Yeah. I loved it though. I when she said that she made those dresses in the workroom, that kind of blew me away. I didn't realize what a good sewer she is. You can't really see the fabric. I need to watch it on my other TV so I can see it better. My bedroom TV isn't as good as my living room TV. I liked it, and I mean, but I, started doing drag in the '90s too, so
yeah,
very old school.
Yeah,
but
I liked it.
It was a quintessentially like Eureka look,
yeah,
which was smart. Which was smart too, to pick one of your like more recognizable.
Well, and I think
looks.
that you have to. I mean, I think that's kind of the point of this is like we want to see you duplicated, and I think she knocked that out of the ballpark.
I think I like the performance of the two coming down the stage.
Yeah.
It's nice to see that because Frankie is a performer. But I didn't really like the dresses, and I felt like I like what Asia did. I like how I kind of was expecting Frankie to kind of take over a little bit and maybe implement more of his style or whatever. But definitely not the worst of the week, but not one of my favorites.
I liked it, and going into it, I was actually very intrigued because I did like the way Eureka did the mini challenge. So my heart was open towards her. The only thing I thought was this literally was the exact replication, just a smaller individual. So in my mind, I thought, I wonder if there was different things we could have played around, like had the same type of gown, but not necessarily in the same proportions, or I don't know, just so something different. Yeah. It just, to me, I was wanting maybe a little bit more, because this is just like a Danny DeVito, twins type scenario. That's.
I was like, where is he going with this?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, man.
Yeah, I got it after you said twins, but I was like, Danny DeVito.
Like, if you could have played with the look, with the signature hair, but then it was like, okay, we know Eureka's a bigger gal, and then Frankie's not. Like, just play with those different things. Maybe it would have been even better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So next is Aquaria and Capricorn.
Your favorite.
That's not Aquaria. That's not them. That's not them. I'm sorry. That's not them either. They're in the red.
We
got
got a few.
Waiting.
Here we go.
There it is.
That was
there
them
it is.
right there.
There it is.
Yay. Okay. So we've seen this happen in the makeover challenges before, where the queen looks beautiful and then kind of throws their makeover person under the bus a bit. And so I did think that Capricorn's makeup was very beautiful, and Aquaria was like, oh, you got me because you thought I couldn't do makeup on a person of color, but I was able to do that. And it's like, yeah, you did nice makeup, but then you made her outfit like random glued feathers and like couch cushion fabric.
Yeah.
It was very not fair.
I mean, it was the worst.
This should have been a bottom for
It
me.
completely
Like,
And
should have
she's
been
not
a
been on the
bottom.
bottom at all.
No.
No.
Yeah.
No.
This would have been her first lip sync, I guess.
Right. And Cameron probably would have sent her home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's for sure.
Do you think that was the reason why they didn't put her in
yes.
the bottom?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I actually never seen Aquaria lip sync. I've heard she's a good lip syncer, but that's really interesting to think about. But yeah, this is definitely a perfect example of Eureka. Aquaria totally upstaging the daughter, and you have to make the daughter the star. And I was really surprised that Kingsley just did not sell it at all. Kingsley just seemed very uncomfortable, like throughout the whole entire process.
Yeah.
And I think it was because Kingsley didn't want to look stupid, or it's like that moment where you really want to do well, but you're just holding back because you don't want to, fail.
Well, it's also like, Mark said this earlier with Raymond, who was Asia's person. Asia knew that Raymond liked that particular outfit and felt really good in it. And so maybe it would have behooved Aquaria to be like, well, I have this outfit or this outfit or this outfit, and then base hers on that.
Yeah.
It's also interesting how Aquaria, there was like controversy with Aquaria getting Kingsley, but also there wasn't controversy with Asia getting someone like a different skin tone.
Right.
Asia or Monet. Monet had Tyler. So
Yeah.
it was weird how they focused on that with Aquaria, but I think that was just to create drama or something. But
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, I didn't have too many feelings on it because I am bummed because I thought Aquaria, of course, looked so amazing, but that doesn't go with the challenge. And
But
then,
I didn't think she looked. I mean, what looked amazing about her?
just her overall aesthetic, I did enjoy on Aquaria on this episode, and
A bathing suit and a jacket.
it just worked for me. Sometimes it just works for you. I love the shady comment. I'm answering your question. But yeah, I didn't hate it, and I do wish she would have taken that same Asia route to find out what the heck would have made her social media star shine, and I think we would have had a different ball game. So I say it to say that I feel like she was close, but I totally understand that she dropped the ball.
Yeah.
The next one is Ms. Cracker and Ms. Cookie. This was, I'm so glad they won. This was my hands down favorite. It wasn't, I do kind of hate it when it's exactly twinsy. So this one, they kind of mimicked each other, where you could see a family relation with the butterflies in certain places, and the makeup was very similar, but it wasn't just, we're wearing matching outfits.
That's what I was getting with Eureka. When I said that I
Yeah.
would like to, this is actually the vision that I would go for.
I was thinking too with Eureka if she would have even made Frankie's a pants or hot pants or something like that.
You got it,
so there was a little different, and maybe somehow make that her little make it a loaf, but some kind of a difference to it. You know
And
what I mean?
Cracker made these too. Like, you could see Cracker sewing the outfit in the background. So, I mean, I felt like while Eureka said she made those, there wasn't another, like, Cracker saying, hey, I made this
Yeah,
too.
because I think Cracker like makes everything that she wears.
Oh my God, watching Cracker, I think one of you already said it, watching Cracker in the workroom was the funnest thing ever. I mean, getting giggly like it's, your birthday or something like that. It was so fun.
It is exciting though when you're doing someone's makeup and it's coming out like perfect and you're like, oh my God, you look amazing. I can't wait for you to see that. I can totally relate to that moment. I absolutely totally can relate
She's
to
a
that moment.
woman now, but I'm so happy for Cracker. Because Cracker is one of my favorites with Cameron, Mark.
Yes.
So I was so
I thought
happy.
we all
This
liked
makes me
Cameron.
feel a little bit
all
better
don't.
for
Everyone
Cracker's
but Mark.
future.
Cameron's going to win Miss Congeniality. Mark's going to be like, I wasn't really feeling it.
No, she's not going to win this congeniality.
So next was Monet Exchange and Short Change. I did love this name. I thought the name was really clever. I know they picked on the reveal that happened with the skirt. I actually thought like Tyler pulled it off really well.
Yeah.
So to me, it's more important to have an effortless reveal than to have like a big reveal, because a lot of times people get stuck, like the outfit gets stuck on them. So I'd rather have you rip it off and have it look really cool while you
Synchronize,
did it.
they did it together too.
And so I thought that was great. I did think they both looked wonderful, but it's that same thing that Ronnie was saying before, where it's too matchy, but it's just weird because it's like Michelle called them out for being not no family resemblance.
Yeah.
Which I didn't see. That didn't make sense to me.
Not at all.
That didn't make sense to me. I was just
agree.
like, the outfits are too matchy, and I could see where you could say that, like maybe like make some little changes here or there, but I didn't see no family resemblance. That was just weird.
I appreciated that, and I don't know that he just can't wear contacts or doesn't wear contacts or didn't want to wear contacts. I actually like the idea that Monet wore her glasses so that he could keep his regular glasses on. I actually appreciated
That's his trademark.
On the
He,
second time
always wears
watching,
glasses.
I was like, "What?" And then I was like, "Oh."
I
it's
did the same
because-
thing.
Yeah,
I did the same thing.
I didn't catch
Yeah.
it at the beginning.
I didn't
Why
either.
was that choice made? But
Right.
that's exactly why it was made.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on this look, you guys?
Yeah, not one of my favorites just because I think the makeup on Tyler looked like it aged him, and he's pretty young, so he just looked like aged. That's all I can say. Like he
thought-
looked a lot older than he was
Right.
with the makeup. I mean, it's drag makeup.
I used to get when I started
didn't
doing
look
drag,
good.
I would get that all the time. they would meet me out of drag, and they were like, "Oh my god, I thought you were like 40," just because I'm a very
There he goes.
mature woman.
Mature woman.
And now I match LoRayne's.
You're like Devil Wears Prada.
You caught up to LoRayne?
I was caught.
Oh
I
my
finally caught up
gosh.
to LoRayne.
We've all caught up. My only thoughts real quick with this was just, I'm sorry that I keep going back to the workroom, but I just felt like Tyler was one of the other most enjoyable people to work with. I don't know if that's just because I like Monet so much, but even when they first started, I think she was the first one, at least towards the edit, where all the social media kings were walking in heels, and I felt like Tyler really embraced this experience. I almost thought Tyler looked better with no hair and the dress and working on the reveal, and it was like an intense moment. I don't know, I just ate all that up. So when it got out here, I felt like to the runway, I felt like I was already in, but I can see some parts that needed some adjustment for sure.
Yeah.
So next was Cameron and Kelly Michaels. This was just, it was one of Cameron's most underwhelming looks. So,
Which is really surprising
Which
because
is
of the looks that Cameron's pulled out this season.
yeah. So it was just weird to me because I was like, Cameron looks so underwhelming, and so therefore Kelly looks underwhelming because they were meant to match. So I knew the minute I saw this, I was like, oh no, this is going to be in the bottom.
It looked like the category was sisters, one who got off drugs and one who just got divorced. But they were sisters, no less.
And they're going to Vegas.
You know, but I agree, out of all the Cameron looks to sort of replicate, or basically she did the complete opposite in color, you know.
Yeah.
But of all of the
weird.
looks, going back, this was just not the one. And But
No.
maybe this was that idea of the guy being a straight man and her uncomfortability to really get in there, you know.
Yeah. Bad.
Mark, thoughts on your favorite drag queen?
Huh?
Thoughts on your favorite drag
my
queen?
Oh, don't say he's going to say, I don't know her.
Oh, on Cameron. I mean, I think it speaks for itself.
Okay.
I think you all have said enough.
Cameron, I still love you. This was horrible.
The world loves
but-
you, Cameron. The world, except for Mark.
The world minus one.
Yeah.
So then the lip sync, the bottom two were Monet and Cameron. And this shocked me because I thought for sure it was going to be Aquaria and Cameron. And so having Monet go home on this lip sync too was shocking. Not that when I watched the lip sync, I thought they were dead even.
Yeah.
It was really, when Ru said, now that is how you lip sync for your life, I was like, yes, I'm living for this lip sync. So it was shocking because I almost felt like I wanted another week where both of them got saved.
Yeah.
Totally echo that 100%.
I feel like this was the week that I wanted that double save.
I can
rather
tell-
than
Could
last
you
week.
imagine Aquaria if they saved again?
Oh, you mean how she complained a little bit?
A little bit?
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, this was the one. Not saying this was the best of ever lip sync, but I will say in this season, I did watch this about 6 times, and I giggled and I teared because I didn't want the Monet to go.
Yeah.
Like me leaving the Monet is a hard thing, right?
Right.
And so when the Monet left, I was hurt. But I got tickled pink every time she walked off, and the actual wording in the song said, "I'm out of here. Or, I'm a cute bitch, and I'm out of here," and then came back. And then she popped up and had the butt. I just sponges all day, sponges all around, sponges all around for Ronnie.
I did feel like because it was dead even, I feel like this was based solely on the decision was based solely on like their track record because Monet had been in the bottom 3 times, Cameron 2 times, and Monet's never won a challenge.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe that was the reasoning.
I don't know. I mean, and I'll say this: if Cameron lip syncs again, I mean, she lip sync.
Is this her second?
Second lip
Yeah.
sync?
I thought this one was better than her first lip sync, if that's anything.
Yeah, I
No,
did.
not to me.
You really don't.
No.
Wait. You really don't think Cameron's a good lip syncer?
I didn't say I didn't think she's a good lip syncer, and I didn't say that I don't hate Cameron. I just think she is the weakest link in the show right now.
I thought she ripped
I think
this lip
what
sync.
Aquaria was saying at the beginning of the episode, people were skating by. I completely think she's skating by. I completely do. I did not think she deserved to win it. Everything she did, watch the last lip sync for her life. She did all the same tricks and things that she did in the last lip sync. at least Monet, yes, Monet, you can say, oh, well, she's always doing the kooky stuff, but she didn't do the fake split. She didn't repeat anything that she had done before, and it was still friggin' fantastic. And your eye always went to her because you wanted to see what she was going to do next. I knew what Cameron was going to do next. A split, and she was going to throw her hair this way and then throw her hair that way, which she did about 5 times in the lip sync.
She did it
done.
damn good, though.
We only have 10 minutes, so I got to shut them mouth.
Thank you for that monologue.
Well,
You're
I just
welcome.
think that Rue was always constantly on Monet, like especially with last
Yeah,
episode.
it's weird.
And you know, this was her third lip
And the
sync,
pussycat
so-
wig, they keep yelling at her about the which I don't
exactly.
understand. Like, let her be. Like,
Rob wore wigs like that. It's
yeah.
like,
Well, and even when, here's a blast from the past, Max wore the gray hair all the time, you know, and they were just like, you know, it's her thing. That's what she does.
Or the dots with Dusty. Yeah.
Right. It's like, I get it, you know, okay, so mix it up every once in a while, you know, wear a different hair, you know, and I get that. And, you know, if you're on the show, take note, because that's probably what they're going to expect you to do. So have something ready. It's just...
You're right. And when the judges said, oh, Monet, I want to let you know this is the greatest
Best
you've ever looked.
looked.
And my thoughts were, just because she wore anything but a pussycat
Right.
wig,
Right.
which
Right.
was interesting because I thought her going to church on a Sunday,
oh,
that lady
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
was it. So you're right. It is contrived how you have to like stay in your box or can't be in
Yeah.
your box, but you know.
And the other thing we didn't talk about, which I don't know, maybe you are getting to this, but I don't think so, is when, I don't know.
An outline.
I don't know. Well, no, it's not on there. Was when Cameron's guy called her out on sitting on the other side of the room. Like, this poor guy is sitting there like, why aren't we sitting with everybody else?
Now wait
Like,
a minute.
I get it. Like, she wants to
but
get
if
ready.
that's her process, what's wrong with that?
And that's fine, but it's like, I mean, he's literally saying to you, Cameron, maybe you should kind of be with the other girls.
But
Maybe
she's not
you
hurting
should...
nobody. She's
No,
doing.
I'm not saying she is.
Wait, what would you rather her do? To get in the group and cackle with them?
Yeah, why not?
If she's not comfortable, we can't make people be a person they're not.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, it's like, then don't, but you can't just sit here and expect everybody just to be like, not comment on the fact that you're literally sitting on the other side of the room. Literally not talking to anybody, doing your own thing. She's like, oh, I talk to people when they walk by. Well, girl, like,
But
I don't know.
I do think, I mean, it's the same thing that happened a little bit with Nina Bonina Brown, where it's like, you're in the zone, you're trying to like focus on yourself and your challenges, and a lot of people, like, their way of dealing with that is just to like be quiet and get their stuff done, you know?
That's what I do. Like, I can attest to Cameron's like disposition for sure, personally.
I think if you go and sit in the corner and you make it a thing, like I'm like ostracized or I'm out of the group, then it's a problem. But if that's just where you want to go and you don't care if people talk to you, then I think it's okay.
So we don't have a mirror moment in this episode or in Untucked, and I'm sorry we don't, because
They didn't really have one. Yeah.
one. So, and that's why.
I had a mirror moment because I was crying when Monet got let go. I was like talking to
It's
myself.
Ronnie Junior's personal mirror
I
moment.
felt like we've had a good 10 weeks and we broke up. Yeah.
So I have shout outs though. Dante Faris wrote a really nice long comment on iTunes, and I want to tell you guys, please don't forget about iTunes. Rate and comment on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. And you'll get a cool shout out. And here's some other people: Nouvelle Cossi, Paulo, Tim Anthony, Powie, Jim Fitzpatrick. And commentator was the person who called you guys out for talking about butts too much.
That was my fault, not Ollie's.
And then from the chat room, Rabbi, I'm sorry if I pronounce this incorrectly, but he's watching from Tunisia. Lady Latina loves Mark. And then someone named Carrie said that Mark is her Patronus.
Her what?
Patronus, like from Harry Potter.
I
You
don't
are
know.
no longer
I
her
don't-
Patronus
I
now.
don't
Now
know.
it's me, because Mark doesn't know what that is.
I don't know what that is, but thank you. I'll take it. I'll take it.
So Ronnie actually put together a Twitter memory of Monet.
Well, yeah, it's not just a Monet, but it's a Twitter thing. We'll start with, do we have some instrumental music that we can play in the background?
Some
maybe?
nice harps.
Yeah, that would be nice. Anyways, we'll do a couple photos here. The first two, we just want to see if everyone agrees that Frankie Grande does look exactly like Cynthia Lee Fontaine. So we have some photos up there. If you're on iTunes, just go check that out. Or it's been on social media quite a bit.
I think he was popping those up when we talked about it.
Oh, okay. They were for this segment, but that's not a problem either. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, it's just a dead-on ringer. They just look, and this is all over social. Everyone's tweeting about it, and it's just funny. Even though Ollie thinks Frankie Grande is just a little bit boring. Yeah.
Next,
Yeah.
next, please. Next.
So, and then also the picture that we were talking about a little bit earlier, the social media stars all got together except for Anthony, I think it is. So this is them all hanging out. I'm not sure where per se, but this is them hanging out watching the episode. And like Jackie's point, how it's a great social media strategy to make the show even bigger. Get 5 or 6 of the greatest people that are going to get this show pushed back out further. We've got a comment from Tyler Oakley about Monet, and Tyler Oakley wrote, I think we have the photo for that too. That's number 4, Anthony. Tyler Oakley wrote, "Okay, Queen on YouTube, on the YouTube." I never read good. I never read good. Who did they make fun of reading on the show? Was that a different show?
Aquaria?
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm having a hard time. Oh, Monet. Oh.
It is heart music. Wow. Asking you shall receive.
To the end of Monet. Okay, but anyways, this Tyler Oakley said, "Okay, Queen" on the YouTube trending page, and it's of course 2 different images. It's the Drag Race Makeover where Tyler Oakley is with Monet, and then it's the music video which we'll play after the end of the segment here. We have Asia O'Hara who wrote, "Have you ever not wanted to go to school because you knew your friend was not going to be there? Definitely how I feel about Monet Exchange." So that was Asia's commentary. I really love this music. Eureka O'Hara wrote, "I love and will miss Monet Exchange so much. I have to say that she was kind. She was kind to me and always was. She has a huge heart and golden sponges." Okay, let the sponges live on. Cameron kept it nice and quick and said, "My queen, I love you, Monet Exchange." Aquaria wrote, "I also wish that I could have taken Monet's place tonight. I wouldn't have minded leaving / staying if it meant keeping one of my best drag sisters with me in the competition. Heart. Monet will always be one of my favorite queens ever."
Aquaria said that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
tweeted that.
Yeah, there we go. So you're 2 more pictures. There we go. That was Aquaria. So now the next one, that was Aquaria's response. Now this is what Ronnie's response is. Go to the next picture, Anthony. It's picture number 9. So RuPaul, no, there we go. RuPaul, no, we're having some trouble over there. RuPaul,
Is that Tyra Banks?
RuPaul
That's
saying,
Wendy Williams.
RuPaul saying, Monet
Sorry.
Exchange, sashay away.
It's a very small, fuzzy picture.
And that is how I felt when Monet left. Anyways, Monet, we're done with that. I wanted to talk about some good stuff because Vixen had a really tough season, so we're just going to talk about looks because that's what I do. Who knew she had such great structure? Look at that jawline and Vixen turns out as hot as can be. That's a picture with Aquaria. Then we have another picture with Mayhem. We could go to the next photo, and then we have another picture with Chi Chi LaRue. All right, and then.
Oh, yeah.
And then our last photo is going to be Miss Cookie's Cakes. So go to picture number 13, please. So this is Chester, and RuPaul, of course, talked about the butt. And so Ronnie is going to talk about the butt. Just wanted you all to look at that if you're not on iTunes.
He snuck it in.
Come on over. I'm sorry. I'm fired after this episode, but I'll go cry. I'll cry with my sponges. And number 14, can we just play a little bit of the music video of Monet's song? Because this features Bob the Drag Queen and Boomer Banks, just if we want to take a look at that YouTube. Anthony, do you have that available, or...
While Anthony's looking for this video, I just want to say, as far as news, Bianca Del Rio has a new book out called "Blame It on Bianca Del Rio." So,
Oh yeah, she was signing them at DragCon. Oh, here we go.
Ooh.
So we wanted Bob and Monet together, and you got it.
And this is Monet's song?
This is Monet's song.
I love this.
Oh my God.
It's called "Soak It Up."
Sell it, girl. Sell it.
I love this. Bob has a sponge jumper.
Yes.
Oh my God.
And,
I'm living.
Monet's in
These
her
bitches.
sponge dress. And perfect.
Soak it up.
That is so
Anyway.
wonderful.
Sorry, I had a hard time reading because this was my hardest episode of all the episodes. I'm so sad.
That's okay. If you guys want to commiserate about Monet, you know where to go. I just want to get everyone's, now that we're looking very closely to a possible to the top 3. I want to get everybody's predictions for the top 3. And so I'm going to predict the top 3, but these are not what I would personally choose. I just think this is what will happen.
Predictions.
I'm curious.
I think it's going to be Aquaria, Eureka, and Asia. And I'm, like, at this point, I think I'm rooting for Cameron or Asia to win. But I do think that it looks like they're trying to get an Aquaria, Eureka showdown in the
Yeah,
top.
I would say
Interesting.
same
Yeah.
top 3.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And I love Cameron and I love Cracker and I really want them to be top 3, top 4, whatever. But I think it's going to be Eureka, Asia, and Aquaria. And I would say I want it, if between those 3, I would want Aquaria or Asia to win.
Wow, I just had this conversation with somebody, so it's going to sound like I'm just jumping on what you guys said, but I do think it's going to be Eureka and Aquaria are going to be up there because they have to, they have their huge fan bases. Everyone wants them to win. I do think Asia's going to come through. I think it's, the amount of experience she has, the poise. I think Ru sort of wants her to win too in a nice way, and she's earned it, of course, too, in my opinion. And I think that's going to set up Cracker for an amazing all-star, and I think it's going to set up Cameron for an amazing congeniality. See, I see Cameron as congeniality. I guess maybe Monique could be too, but she was more just funny,
I feel like someone in the chat
lots.
room said that they think it could be Monet. I could see
It could be
Monet or
Vanjie.
Cameron.
Oh.
Or
Ariana.
Vanjie.
It could be Blair. Like, there's lots of congenial queens this season, for sure. And then I think it all comes down to if it's going to be a top 3 or top 4.
I just gonna go. Do you guys agree that I think if Cracker gets eliminated, she's the number 1 in this group that's gonna go to an all-star?
She's extreme.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
I think in
that's-
a way they're setting that up.
Absolutely.
Cracker and
Because Cracker's so popular and she's so marketable for sure.
And remember, what did Katya have in her season? She was like a little in her head. So you have that same idea where like Katya just needed to get out of her head, and then she does an all-star. She does pretty good. Cracker, it's like we love her, but her head is slowing her down. Her head is slowing her down.
How's your head?
Her head is not giving her any complaints.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in this week. There's no episode next week,
I
so
know.
we will not be recapping one.
won't be.
But tune in the week after for AfterBuzz's recap. I'm 123 Jackie B.
And I am Mark J. Freeman. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at LoRayne Love, LoRayne LOVE.
Hey guys, I'm Oliver Drennan. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer.
I'm gonna soak it up, and I'm so sad Monet's gone. I'm randomly RJ. Oh, Monet, we had a good run. I think it's good we're gonna have this week break. We're gonna have a week break, and then I'm gonna fall in love with someone else. Soak it
Bye,
up, baby.
guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Drag you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.